Hey everyone, Ryan here, MandRproductions, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars set number 75090, EZRA'S Speeder Bike, and Stormtrooper Speeder Bike, and Sabine. It's a little bit more than the name implies. This one had 253 pieces and released back in 2015 for just $20, adjusted for inflation 8 years later, it's about $25, which feels right, but what doesn't feel right is that this set is worth well over $100 on sites like eBay. Just absolutely bonkers. Anyway, I found it interesting that the main box art is also used again on 3 other sides of the box. It feels unnecessary and repetitive. The back of the box though breaks the pattern, and we see what at the time they were doing like little comic strips, which was cool, and then kind of the normal back of box art. Inside of the box you'll find 2 bags, your small sticker sheet, and an instruction manual which has a really cool layout of all the minifigs from early 2015, as well as a little advert for Star Wars Rebels that I don't have any recollection of, but it's cool to see now. The first minifigure is your standard Rebel Stormtrooper. The look of these guys has certainly grown on me over the years. Underneath the helmet you'll find just the angry clone face, and there's a good bit of detail around back. Overall, pretty solid Stormtrooper. I think it's better than what we get today. EZRA is of course also included in the set. He's got a wrench and his lightsaber, and overall is a very good looking figure with a solid amount of detail on the front side. They got the back of his clothing down, and then going back to the front, they do have a second facial expression on him with a more worried look. And finally, we have the Sabine figure, which was the only new figure for this set at the time, and she looks amazing. Maybe outside of the cut off shin detail, which is something LEGO was doing a lot at the time. Very good figure. You got the Rebel logo on the chest, a good bit of pink in there as well, and for her hairpiece they even printed on some of the orange detail within her blue hair. Now she does have a decent bit of detail on the back, and flipping her back around she also has a second more angry facial expression than the other one, so you do get to choose between the two. Overall, this was a really good set for the figures, including 3 pretty high quality minifigs at a really cheap price. Both the Stormtroopers and EZRA'S Speeder Bike here are the exact same designs, they're just different colorways, and I think they both look pretty good overall for their color schemes. EZRA'S with the dark green definitely stands out for a LEGO Star Wars collection, but the white of the Stormtrooper is pretty classy too. Now, a lot of people put stock into 1-to-1 minifigure scale when it comes to LEGO Star Wars sets, but I'm not one of those people. But for this review, I think it's important to talk about because these speeder bikes are made purely for minifigs like this, and ultimately they are too large for what they're supposed to be. Obviously, I think if they could, LEGO would make them smaller to be the accurate scale. In an ideal world, everything would be 1-to-1 scale, but I recognize that's not possible with LEGO Star Wars, and there's many things that can't be that. So yeah, I think these speeders are upsized a good bit, mostly in order to have the functionality and detail that these have. And so speaking of functions, we have the first one here on the front where you can pull the whole front end of the speeder forward to extend it. So now you have an even longer speeder. I don't know if that's, no. Yeah, it does extend even further. Holy crap. Yeah, very long speeder now, right? It extends way out. And so if you didn't like the scale before, you certainly won't now. As you can tell, the Stormtrooper Speeder Bike is way longer than EZRA'S. But EZRA'S bike should have the same feature. No, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, maybe these ones are just tighter in there. I don't know why. It's obviously an 8-year-old set that I just unboxed. Maybe it's just aged poorly, which shouldn't happen with LEGO. They're supposed to be a premium product, but it seemingly has happened here. That's just not working on EZRA'S bike. I got it extended. Let's reattach it. So EZRA'S speeder bike is now extended as well. Let's see if I can get it to retract, and let's try it again. Yeah, it half works. I don't know if any of you guys have experiences with this over the years where it's been good or bad, but it definitely seems 50-50 for my experience here. Of course, we were at the height of the stud shooter era, and so stud shooters were attached on either side of these speeder bikes and were easy to use. It should then surprise no one that you can place a minifigure in the seat. We have EZRA on this side, and if we lean him forward and extend these just a little bit, you can theoretically have him actually hold the handlebars, which can be a pretty cool look if you're like trying to set it up nicely for a display or a mock. The same could be done for the Stormtrooper, but I'll save myself the trouble. I think the figures really complete the looks for their bikes, and they also color match them really nicely. Speaking of color matching, that is a problem on EZRA'S Speeder Bike because it does have a lot of sticker details. You've got like the Rebel logo at the back. You've got these nice details on the front, which the Stormtrooper one actually has similar details, but it has less all throughout otherwise. But on EZRA'S bike specifically, there's a printed piece there, that dome piece, not printed printed on the Stormtrooper one, and that piece is a faded orange compared to the bright orange of the sticker. It almost makes me wish that was a sticker, but they would never do a sticker on a piece like that, so that wouldn't work. So realistically, they should have printed everything so that it color matched even better, and they didn't. But it is a $20 set, like whatever, I guess, but still, just one of those things that is definitely a small annoyance. Of course, the bottom side has those inverted tiles that help make it smooth to slide around on surfaces. Definitely a great thing. And the last feature on these is the little clip on the back where you could take a wrench or weapon and clip it on just so that they have it. If LEGO released this set today for $25 or $30, I'd be sitting here telling you to buy it. However, for the $100 that it might cost you, I don't think this is like a legendary set that is totally worth going out to get, and the figures aren't like anything super special that you couldn't get in some other more legendary sets, I guess. So I think this is a pass for most people unless you find like the right deal on it at the right time on the right marketplace or at a garage sale or something these days. Like, it's just too expensive to be worth it. But if LEGO does ever remake something like this, it would be pretty cool. Anyway, I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. You can check out more LEGO Star Wars 2015 set reviews on the end screen now.